Okay, cool. So here's the plan. This is part one of my Fumbbl Europen recap. I'm 3 games in. I think it's 5 games to play in total. It's a team event, but it just involves your results being added to 2 other people. I'm on Team This'll Hurt with Perdindas and Phil78, and we're doing okay. We're in the top 10, I think, going into coming out of round 3. My round 3 game has happened, and we're going into round 4 now. Yeah. So my plan for this one is just to run through the first 3 games really quickly, and just see if there are any learning points and a bit of commentary, see how that all goes. So first game was against Dark Elves. So just to run through my team quickly, this is the same team I'm taking to Eurobowl for Team Scotland, which should be pretty cool, in about a month's time in Cardiff. So I've got 2 block wolves. I've got a leader flesh golem because it's 1100, which is not quite ideal for necro. They like 1150. So I've had to drop a reroll, so I've taken leader on a flesh golem to take me back up to the 3 rerolls. Guard on the other golem, I've got another guard white, and I've got a tackle white, and then 2 block ghouls. You get 8 skills because necro are tier 2, which is rather lovely. So first up is Dark Elves, so a tackle blitzer, and 2 tackle blitzers actually, and 2 dodge blitzers, a block witch, and then something else somewhere. No, that's it. 5 skills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. I know a wrestle. Yeah, I thought there was 6. A wrestle lineman. Yes. So zooming through, I lost the toss, and he chose to kick. Yeah, I like the block wolves really, just because the possibility of causing damage really. Had to use the reroll to pick up the ball, but didn't want to risk him zooming through and putting pressure on it, so I did use the reroll at that stage. This is quite nice. 2 Dark Elves off the pitch in that one turn, so that was quite tasty really. Yeah, happy to base the flesh golems at this stage. They've got armor 9 and strength 4, so if he wants to attack them, then he's going to have to commit stuff to it. And it looks like he's coming around the back here as well, so that means fewer elves between me and the end zone, which is good news, because I think he's going to bring a couple of players around here. Yeah, I'm perfectly happy for him to do that. He tripped on the go for it, so I had to use a reroll on that one, leaving him only 1 for the rest. Easy to get the tackle zone off the ball carrier. No problem there at all, and just quite cheerful caging up really. Absolutely no rush at all on this one, because obviously two Dark Elves off the pitch already. Yep, dodging away, but not that one. Obviously I'm just trying to take people out and then making a nice cozy cage down in the corner, and again no rush to score. Yeah, no one hurt as yet. Again, he's got tackle zones on the ball carrier, but not very scary ones really. And I can just go fairly comfortably. So I'm going to accelerate this one a bit, because I don't think anything tremendously exciting happens, because it just turns into me beating him up. So now we've got 5 outs. We've got 3 badly hurt, 1 seriously injured, and a KO. It just became a bit of carnage really. At this stage we were sort of both saying, good game, yeah. What happened there? So he did some crazy dodging to try and get a blitz on the ball carrier, 1 dice on the blodger, and failed to go for it. Sad for him. My 10-8, and I do some punching because I got a reroll left. 3 dice block there, before walking it in. His KO comes back, but he's only got 1 turn. So doesn't even go for the 1 turner, and sculled out and knocked himself out. But he did come back, so that would have been bad. So now I'm kicking to him, but he's only got 7 players, and it starts raining, and he double skulls pretty much immediately, using up the reroll. So it's not looking very good really. So it's going to be one of the quicker games. So yeah, because of all the casualties, the first tiebreaker of Euroball is net touchdowns plus net casualties, and so this put me top of the table. I don't think it's much of a spoiler to say that I won this one. Yeah, because I managed to smash him up there. Didn't do tremendously well in making it sort of super safe, in that he managed to get the ball a few times. Yeah, powered my guy there. That was a bit rubbish. Oh yeah, it does go a bit crazy actually, this one. So there are some shenanigans in a minute. So maybe I shouldn't have spoilt it, but there we go. I do win. So yeah, that was that was possibly an error in not picking up the ball. I sort of left it because I just thought I'd go and bash this guy, and that wasn't even the best place to put him either. So all a little on the rubbish side, because he can actually get the ball. So he gets the ball and then chucks it to the witch, and it works. So he did like a a long pass in the rain, with no rerolls. So that was a little bit vexing. I thought, oh, this could be a draw at this stage. That would be bad, because it's a blodge witch on the ball. But I did get the POW. And I think that was pretty much game over at that stage. But yeah, that was a little hairy. And as I said before, I'll say it again. One of the biggest weaknesses in my game is turning the screw. When I'm sort of comfortable. Even got a load of blocks on my guy there. It's just rubbish. Dear. Anyway, 2-0. And yeah, top of the table because 5 casualties will do that. So lots of skill there. Becoming top of the table on that one. So yeah, surprisingly, because of being top, I'm playing against Khemri next. I guess they must have caused casualties in their first game as well. In that, so that'll be an interesting bit of scoring stuff at Euroball, I guess, in that you'll see teams that have caused lots of casualties being top. So I wonder if don't know if that might even affect the meta game. So yeah, Khemri, what have they got? They got some load of guard basically to try and outstrength me. Let's have a look. So a load of guard and mighty blow on the Tomb Guardians, and they're just looking to kill, which is entirely fair enough. I got blitz to start this game, which should have really helped against Khemri, because it should have been a sort of a load of pressure on them, and they're not great at manoeuvring and or being very quick. But it wasn't as much of an advantage as you might expect. I think I overcommitted basically down here, but again he had to do quite a lot to get away from the ball. That wasn't great positioning. There would have been slightly better because he's going to chain push me away, and I think if I'd gone there it would have been very hard to get a proper chain push, I think. So yeah, just got to be aware of the chain pushes basically whenever you're playing against decent opposition. So because of that he could block my wolf into the white, and that would free up the thrower. I lost a wolf there. That was a bit sad. What happened to him? He knocked out. So I'm just. Oh yeah, that was nice. Got rid of a Blitzra. But yeah, got my white surfed. That was rather shoddy. And he's getting into a reasonably sort of decent position now. And I don't have a tremendous amount of cover. And a casualty on my white who didn't come back. So it's starting to go slightly wrong at this stage because he's getting into a solid position. But yeah, and then he can just run through there. Oh no, he didn't do that. Yeah, that was it. Oh yes, right. So I did I half dice? Yeah, so I half diced the Tomb Guardian to get him out of the way, and then was going to go for the 1 die splits on the Ball Carrier. No dodge on there, obviously, but failed the 3+ dodge with dodge out, and then he got into a really sort of solid position. I see her both down there, and he's just getting everyone into sort of decent positions, basically, and making life a little bit tricky, basically. So it's looking like an Elder score, but something snazzy happens now. So here we go. Blitz action with the ghoul who was standing. So that's a 5+ dodge, which he makes. And then a 3+ dodge, which I have the dodge for. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to there. 7 to there. 1 go for it. Another go for it. And a pow. And I killed Thro-Ra. Happy days. Yeah, that was play of the day, really. Absolutely nailed that one. And he was very polite about it because it was ridiculous. Polite and then beat me up. But yeah, absolutely fine. And then, but still in a scoring position because the Blitzer managed to pick up the ball. But then another 1 dice pow on the ball carrier. So, dice. It's a dice game. And then I picked the ball up, obviously. And then he didn't manage to knock my guy over. So yeah, some outrageous dice. So dice in the first game to cause ridiculous numbers of casualties, and then dice in the second game to stop him from scoring. Yeah, Sweltering Heat got rid of 2 of mine and 2 of his Tomb Guardians, and then I think he got a blitz. Let's have a look. Yeah, so he got a blitz as well, which made life a little tricksy. Not picking up the ball, just sort of putting the pressure on, making it hard for me to do so. Yeah, I don't really like Sweltering Heat. It just changes the game too much into kind of like a game of 7s, basically. So yeah, once I managed to pick up the ball, I was a little bit happier because he wasn't going to be dodging anytime soon. I managed to get the wolf away. That wasn't very good. Should have put the wolf there, I think, probably to stop the Tomb Guardian coming through, because the Tomb Guardian's going to come through now and smash up my golem dude, which I didn't really think about. Okay, a couple of go for it. Fast moving Tomb Guardian, which allows him to get a tackles in on the ball carrier, and then he powers my ghoul. Actually, that was quite a big thing, made life more difficult and stunned him. So this was tackle as well, which was a pain. So what I did here was I blitzed with the white to get the 2 dice block on the Blitzra, because again, not in any particular rush. I don't need him don't need him sort of down. I just needed him away, and then made the dodge out with the wolf, which is good. So again, a blodger on the ghoul. So the only person I'm worried about really is the tackle. He's got these 2 lurking skeletons here. I'm going to come over and beat up my guy. He's now got 2 dice on my ghoul, but doesn't manage to pow him. So it's looking, it's a little bit cozy, but not too bad. And now this was interesting. Now I would have been tempted, I think, just to mark the ghoul, because he brought the skeleton in, but I don't think the skeleton actually did very much, really, in terms of offering assistance. So pow there, and then blitzed with the ghoul, and then ran to a place of reasonable sort of safety. A couple of go for it's there in order to get 2 dice hit on the skeleton. Obviously, it was protected go for it, so snake eyes were doing bad, but anything else was okay. And at this stage, it's looking quite reasonably comfortable. Again, 2 dice blitz, but doesn't get the pow. So that's good. And then he fails to go for it there. And then at this point, I'm just running away. So yeah, it all became comfortable at that stage. Yeah, really interesting. Like super. This the sort of replay doesn't do justice to quite how tense it was and how much of a tactical brain strain it was because of like the sevens, and then he failed to go for it there to failed to hand off. So yeah, I did leave him 2 turns, but 2 turns against Khemri is usually fairly safe. So yeah, but that was a great game where I definitely sort of had the rub of the dice again, but that's okay. Won't take that. As long as I have the rub of the dice all weekend in Wales, then I'll be super happy. So yeah, top of the table going into round 3 as well. So playing against Liam, who's top Italian coach, been playing for a very long time, and he has Undead, which is a bit of a pain. So yeah, a couple of one guard white, one guard mummy, mighty blow, guard. Yeah, so bringing the pain really. 1 block, 1 sure hands on the ghouls. Only 3 ghouls on this build, and 13 players. Yes, will my luck continue is the question. So I'm still doing this asymmetric setup thing, which I quite like. There seems to be a good reason to do it against most teams. Against this one, against the Undead, it's because the mummies then end up sort of a bit more side of the pitch. He's set up nicely, and that the mummies are still in the middle, but it still causes. I think it's good to be able to sort of corral corral your opponent into a smaller space when you're defending. I don't know. Seems to be working all right. Touchback, which is a bit of a pain, but sure hands ghoul on the ball. Didn't get to use sure hands. Yep, solid enough. Just in my half. Yeah, this wasn't tremendously good thing here because I've left him basically an easy 2 dice on my white, which wasn't very sensible. But otherwise, I'm just getting in the way, and hopefully going to force him at some point to leave his mummies. Gotta leave your mummy. Yeah, so trying to get the mummies away from the ball carrier basically, and he wants to keep his mummies near the ball carrier. That's pretty much the game when you're playing against Undead. So this was an interesting one here. I rolled a push and a pow on the white. I was tempted to bite the push and then the second hit because otherwise I'm standing next to the mummy. Which is not ideal with the werewolf, but I took the pow. Not sure why. So let's. I think just because then more chance of the white of the mummy sort of going away. I don't know. No, it wasn't a very good idea. Oh yes, and then I was going to bring those 2 guys in. It was only a 1 dice, but then he's going to stand them up. So yeah, no, it wasn't very sensible. Should have taken the push, but powers are tempting. But it is sort of working that he does move across here now, which is kind of what I wanted to happen. I wanted the mummies to be separated from the ball carrier, and actually it worked. It worked really well because I can cause a gap here now. So just knock over the white, and then I can use the zombie to mark up this mummy, and then I can sort of cause trouble over here just to stop him moving easily. Yeah, so these zombies are doing a great job just tagging the mummies, and knock down for the ghoul there. So I'm really happy with this situation here. 2 mummies are out of the game. I've got tackle zones on all of these ghouls. Actually, what was that? It was just a zombie. Yeah, killed a zombie a second ago. So that's fine. They're getting pushed or killed or whatever. It doesn't matter. He gets a pow on the wolf, and that's okay. That's his blitz. So he's bringing forward there, and then he's got the ghoul there. But the ghoul is not safe at the moment, so he does need to make some 3+ dodges. So if this dodge fails, he's in a whole world of pain because this ghoul hasn't got block, so the wolf is pretty much free. So if this dodge fails, he's in trouble, and also he needs something over here as well. Otherwise, the wolf can just go around this way. So he needs to protect 2 basically channels. So there's the first one. The dodge makes there, and then this white makes a dodge, and then makes another one. So had to go for it there, but needed it basically. And then wasn't super happy with this turn, I don't think. So did the hit there, but basically I needed to, so the tackle white comes in to try and get rid of the ghoul, which doesn't, as a double skull into pushback. Now, at this stage, I was thinking this through in my head. I should have just put 2 tackle zones on this ghoul. So this was a bit shoddy. I think I just... Oh yeah, this is worst turn of the tournament. So the right thing to do was to base this ghoul and then base him again. I think if I'd done that, he wouldn't have scored. But I didn't. Why not? Oh well. Right. So that wasn't very good because it just left him a 3+ dodge through there. That was not good. I think I was worried about just leaving the channel down the side. So I think if I'd had the ghoul and the wolf, could he even have got 1 dice? So he could have cancelled these tackle zones, got 2 dice on this ghoul, brought this one in here to get rid of that one, and then just a 3-up dodge to score there. So it wouldn't have been that much better, but I should definitely have got a tackle zone. Oh no, not much better. I won't beat myself up too much. It was tricky. I needed this ghoul down, or I needed him to fail some dodges, basically. Yeah, so those hits were actually unnecessary, just got the 3-up dodge. And then scored, leaving me 4 turns to score back. So yeah, that wasn't a great position. This ghoul should have been 1 further back, because now he knocks the zombie over and then bases, hits the wolf, which isn't great in itself, and gets rid of him. But also, I should have. It's the whole tying the mummies down thing. I should have tried harder to tie that mummy down. This mummy's completely out of the game, which is great, but the other mummy is causing trouble. Hits weren't great there. This is a guard white there, so I got the 2 dice and then just leaving myself 2 turns to get into a slightly better position. I figure I can still go either way at this stage. He's basing the ball carrier there, sort of, but I've got loads of hits on him. And then this gets a little tricky here. And I think I just end up having to run through, which is not great. Oh yes, right, I know what I'm doing. So go for it. So yeah, made the go for it there, but needed the re-roll to do it, which basically this white was going to dodge out to form the cage, and it would have been nice to have a re-roll on that one. So knocking the zombie over there, which is the plan. Dodge out, it's fine, but then 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 go for it, another go for it, and falls over and dies. At that point I jumped across the room and shouted, "Rah!" But yeah, could possibly have stopped there. Would that have been better? Yeah, obviously it would with hindsight. Only 1 turn to score now, and he's got a wrestle ghoul here who just comes over and stops me from doing that thing. Gets the POW. Ball is now on the flesh column. And then a bit more hitting. So the only one who could score is this white here, and he's 9 squares away. So obviously there's the pushback option. So first thing I do is hand off to the white, and then I'm going to knock this zombie to here and push him into there, dodge out, and then push the white to here, which puts him in range. So 4+, 4+, 3+, and then 2 2+s to score. Let's see if that works. So 1 dice push, happy with that. And then a 2 dice needing a push, so reroll into a push. This is a brilliant bit of play here. Dodge out and go to the wrong square for the blitz. Well done me. So I have to dodge out again, and then dodge back in. Not dodge back in, we'll go back in and then push. So I get the POW, and the white goes to there, and then it's a 4-up. and then falls over. Oh well, wasn't to be. Right, second half. So I'm playing for the draw basically at this stage. I've got, oh yes, this was a horrible thing. None of my KOs came back, so I've got 2 block wolves and a white guard white. So I'm in a little bit of trouble here. So definitely just playing for the draw, and hoping for it because all my best players are not around anymore. Basically, my team slightly imploded. The ball is miles away from the end zone, but I've got it in my hands. Woo! Yeah, just trying to get into a sort of decent position, but it's not really working because I'm getting beaten up. Mummies are completely free-flowing. Oh, this is quite nice. So I got into a fairly decent position here, just did the switch, so got most of my players down here. He followed me, and then I went up to the top. So that's a nice little move there. I was quite pleased with that one, and it seemed to be going reasonably well. Using up the go for it, which is not ideal. Made the dodge in there. So what goes wrong here? Something goes wrong here. Yeah, he's bringing his players back to get in the way. We just had a fairly decent turn, really. And a player down as well, so that was quite good. Quite a few players sort of out of it. Oh yeah, another off the pitch. Oh, it's just all bad. Just too many players in the way at this stage, basically. Yeah, and then I'm just in trouble. I haven't got enough players. it's not great tactical, and there goes another one. Yeah, so it's not great tactical analysis saying, "Oh, I've got enough players," but yeah, that's what happened. I ran out of players, and then he just had to go and stand by himself. In Blodge we trust, and he needed the reroll to get the POW, but then it was pretty much over. Yeah, so Liam was the only one in the division on 3 wins after this, so well done him. And I've got my next game on Monday. 2 wins and a loss at this stage. But yeah, it's lots of good fun playing against lots of decent players, which is why we play these tournaments. So hope you enjoyed that, and get the second half later.